Okay, well, it's great to see everyone rolling in a little early. Thank you all for joining. We're going to give it 1 or 2 more minutes that we start right at the top of the hour today. So thanks for your patience, and we'll get started soon, everyone. All right, well, we've hit the 1 o'clock hour. So again, good afternoon and welcome to this afternoon's Transtar Industries hosted webinar alongside ARO Writer. We have a great show for you today. We're going to be going over tools for better transmission shop management. And as you see here, we have Rick Sturmel from ARO Writer, our VP of Marketing, Kevin Rosa, and our VP of Technology, Brian Chaikin. We have a lot of material to cover, and we're really excited to share with you today. So I will pass now to Rick, and he will go over some great details. So Rick, go ahead.
All right, thank you very much. So just a quick overview of our agenda, talk a little bit about the presenters, and then we'll take a look at our shop management software and how it can work for you and with Transtar. And Transtar has some demonstrations as well on Transcend, and at the end we'll finish up a little Q&A. So like Maggie said, I'm Rick Sturmel, Director of Business Development with ARO Writer, and with me today we have Kevin Rosa and Brian Chaikin from Transtar. Let me lead off here with just a little bit about who we are and what we do. We're a shop management system, and we kind of pride ourselves on being a very full-featured shop management system in that we've been in business for over 30 years. Our first customers were on our system back in 1989, and many of them are still with us to this day. And from having been in business that many years, we certainly have a lot of features. And we're going to show you just a small number of those features today and how they relate to transmission and the transmission service industry. Just a quick overview, our software does work with both shop owners that have just a single location and multiple locations as well. We do have tools for multi-store operators. If you're stocking product, we have an inventory control module. We also have built-in marketing. So if you're going to follow up with those customers, one of the common things we see with transmission shops is the ability to follow up with customers if you're selling extended warranties. Perhaps the customer didn't purchase that warranty initially with the product, and you want to go ahead and market to those customers. We have more than 200 reports inside of ARO Writer to monitor how your business is doing and determine where you have areas of opportunity. Built in is accounting integrations with the common software packages, your QuickBooks, your ActPack, Mass90, on and on. We also have payables and receivables built into ARO Writer to keep track of products that you purchase, and customers are on open account. And we have a very robust scheduling module as well. And again, that's just a small portion of what we're able to do. Now, today, one of the things we're going to focus on is our integrations, our connectivity to different suppliers. SmartyCat is our catalog, and it connects you with parts suppliers so you can see pricing and availability in real time. Along with SmartyCat, we have a lot of punch-out catalogs that we can connect to, Transtar being one of them, where you can connect directly to a supplier and again, check pricing and availability. If you're also selling tires, we do have connections to tire suppliers, and we also have connections with repair guides. We integrate with Identifix and MotoLogic and AllData for repair information. Now, some of the products that we offer inside of ARO Writer are exclusive to us, and those are our smart products, our SmartyCat, and you're going to see a little bit with SmartyCat today, and Smarty Jobs. And the reason why we call these smart is that they work like a wizard in that they'll just walk you right through the steps that you need in order to build a repair order, to make sure that you get the proper labor times and that you have all your proper parts, and in conjunction with smart pricing, that they're priced appropriately so that you get the margins that you need. Smarty Order will let you electronically order those parts so that you don't have to ever pick up the phone to order parts. We'll take a little look at today at Smart Oil and Smart Fluids, So if you're doing any type of oil changes, the Smart Oil button makes it very simple to do an oil change. Smart Fluids is a similar product for transmission fluid and for coolant as well, to make it easy to determine if you're doing transmission flushes or refills, what type of fluid's needed, what the capacity is, and to easily build that job and put it on the ticket. We have another product as well called Smart Scan. It works with our mobile apps so that for shops that are doing oil changes, we barcode oil change stickers, and Smart Scan, when you scan that barcode, automatically starts the ticket for that oil change. So you can complete an oil change job with a single click. And again, that's for shops that are doing oil changes. Now, besides our base product of ARO Writer, which is our shop management system, we have a companion product called DVI Suite. And DVI Suite adds on the ability to use smartphones and tablets. Our DVI Suite works with both Android and iOS devices. And again, it's going to be your iPhones and iPads along with any type of Android phone or tablet. And what this is going to give you is the ability to start repair orders right from the device, any place that you've got connections, either via the internet or via your local Wi-Fi. It also gives you the ability to do digital inspections, where you can do a checklist, you can take pictures, you can take videos, and you can text all of that to the customer. So you could send a video, a short video, or a series of videos about the vehicles to the customer. So if they've dropped off the vehicle, they have a complete understanding of what you're explaining to them. It also provides for workflow management. There's a drag and drop interface where you can keep track of where the vehicle is in the repair process, and that workflow management can automatically text the consumer as well to keep them updated on where they're at. So they know that you've started the vehicle, they started the inspection, completed the inspection, and all those standard points, they'll automatically be contacted via text. Now we have a series of products that are specifically for transmission shop, and many of our customers are transmission shops. Today we're going to look at some of these. Transtar, Transcend, we connect directly into that catalog from within inside of ARO Writer. And if you're buying product from the dealerships, we can also connect to dealerships via OEC Repair Link. We do offer marketing and follow-up. We're going to look a little bit at estimate search, how you can build a ticket by finding similar transmissions that you've worked on and being able to post parts and labor from those tickets right onto your open repair order. We have package pricing, which is reverse pricing. And with package pricing, for example, if you tell a customer it's $2,500 to do a service on a transmission, you just check the package pricing box, type in $2,500, and it reverse prices all the parts and labor, so it comes out to that number. Makes it real quick and easy if you're quoting a set price. We mentioned Smart Fluids before, and again, we'll take a look at that on how that works with oil change and transmission fluid flushes, so that it finds the right capacity and viscosity and type of fluids. And then also, again, we have a scheduling module where you can schedule vehicles and keep track of the process. So let me jump out of the presentation there for a second, and let's take a look at ARO Writer. So if you picture, if you will, that you just opened the doors for the day and you turned on your computers, and this is what you'd see. This is the home screen of ARO Writer, and you're seeing a couple of panels here. You see an estimate in progress, and these would be vehicles that are out in your lot, and they are waiting to be brought in, or you're just starting the estimate. When the customer actually approves the work after you've completed the estimate, you can move it to a work in progress, so you can keep track of where you are in the repair process. Now, these are all open tickets, so let's just kind of jump right in of what this would look like. And let's just do an example here. I'm going to grab this ticket right here for David Clark with his Ford Escape. And if I double click it, it's going to go ahead and open up that ticket, and now I can start to work on that ticket. Now, there's many different ways that I can build it, but one of the common ways is we can add labor and we can add parts to this ticket. So I'm going to go ahead and add labor. And this is our labor window. And we have a series of labor categories, and these can all be customized for your shop. This one that you're seeing right here is one that I customized for a customer recently, and he does some transmission rebuilds. Now in that category, he has different jobs that are built in this category. So in this case, if I'm going to grab this particular job, this automatic transactional job, I can preset what the wording is going to be here. And I can even go to a labor guide to see what the labor time is on how much I should charge. And it needs to know a little bit additional information. It's not a four-wheel drive. So here's the labor times for this transmission, and I can R&R this transmission assembly. And I can post that time into the job, and it automatically calculates the charge. If there's more jobs I need to add the repair order, I just need to click on next. And maybe now I'm going to add a rebuild job. And again, I can click on the labor guide. And now I can find out what the rebuild time for this transmission is. So here's the overhaul time for this transmission. And again, I can post it. And again, it's going to drop in the build time and calculate the charge. So now I have my jobs that are on my repair order. Excuse me. When it's time to find the parts, I can also find the parts right from inside of ARO Writer as well, as we have a connection with Transtar. So over here on the side toolbar are my different catalogs that I can connect to, and I can check pricing and availability. So here I'll click on Transtar, and what it's going to do is it's going to open the Transcend catalog. What it did was it automatically sent the vehicle to Transcend, which recognized the VIN number and converted it to the proper transmission. So we now know that this is the transmission type for this particular vehicle. And of course, it passed your credentials through, so you're in. You don't have to double entry. You don't have to log into the system. You don't have to enter the vehicle information to find the proper transmission. Now, in this case, this transmission is a CD4E, and you can see we have a list of exploded views. And again, this is all coming from the Transcend catalog. And if I double click on that, I can see an exploded view of that transmission, if that helps locate the parts that you need. And likewise, we can now find the parts by clicking on the categories. And in this case, let's say I want a master kit. If I select the master kit and do a double click, it's going to call out, and just like that, it connected with Transtar and it found whether it's available. I can see that this part is available same day delivery. Here is my cost and the sell price, some additional information about the product. Most of the products are also going to include images of the product and additional information on it to help confirm that this is the proper part for this vehicle. It's confirming what the transmission that it fits and the date range of that transmission. If I check the box, I can post that into our shopping cart, and I can even go back and find more parts. So in this case, let's say I need to have a filter. I can double click and it'll query for a filter. If you're stocking parts, it will show you what you have in stock. In this case, I have 2 in stock. I can confirm it because it's got a picture of what that part looks like. And I can go ahead and check that, and I can drop that into our shopping cart as well. When I hit the next button, it'll show me my shopping cart, and I can see that I have to order one part, and the other part is available in stock. I'm going to go ahead and assign this to my rebuild of the transmission job, and I've built my ticket. I've got the labor time to R&R the transmission. I've got the labor time to rebuild the transmission, and I've got my parts. It'll automatically add on shop supplies, taxes, fees, etc., and you have your out-the-door price. When the customer approves the work and you need to order the parts, it's just a matter of going to Smarty Order. And when you go to Smarty Order, what it's going to do is it's once again going to contact Transtar to make sure that those parts are still available, and they are. You can see where it has a green check mark here saying, hey, they're available. And now if I click on this truck, it's going to order that part. So I'm able to do all of this without having to do any rekeying. It's just a matter of hitting click, and I locate the parts, another click, and I ordered the parts. And that's just one way that we can build a job. Let's take a look at another way that you could do it as well. In this case, I'm going to grab a ticket for this 2008 Chevy Silverado. We also have parts kits. And in this example, excuse me again, I'm going to use a part kit. What I can do is I can build jobs ahead of time. I can build canned jobs, whereby if I select that job, it will not only post that job, it'll also automatically post the associated parts from the parts kit as well. So if I go to my transmission rebuild category, in this instance, I have a job for rebuilding a 4L60 transmission. I've got my labor time in here. Now I could use the labor guide button and update that labor time if I wanted, but if I'm going to use that time, I can just click on OK. And when I click on OK, it's going to automatically add the associated parts as well. So if there's a transmission that you build quite often and you standardly use the same set of parts, you can build that as a kit. So with just a single click on that transmission rebuild, it drops on the parts, it drops on the labor, and I've got my ticket built just like that. Over here on the side, you can see whether or not the part is stock or non-stock. Stock being it's sitting on the shelf, non-stock not being on the shelf. Of course, it's going to have to be ordered. And the little arrows indicate whether it's meeting your margin requirements. So if it's giving you a warning saying, for example, this part here is below the margin you want, and you can adjust the sell price. And there are tools in here to help you to adjust the price as well. Another example that we have is a feature called estimate search. So let's take this ticket right here, this Honda Accord. And we have a button in here called estimate search. Now what estimate search lets you do, it lets you search all the tickets that you've ever built. It's not just associated with this particular ticket, but all of them. So for example, I'm going to, based on this transmission, I'm going to look at my transmission rebuilds, and I'm going to see if I've ever done work on this transmission before. So when I do a search, it finds it, and it finds here that, okay, I charged 6.9 hours to R&R that transmission. So I can go ahead and I can transfer that to the ticket. And it also shows that I've done a rebuild on this transmission before, and there's my labor time. And also, it had these parts. So what I can do is I can select this job and transfer the parts and labor. And so now what's happened is, based on the specific transmission and this transmission code, it found where I've done this work before, this is the labor I've charged, and this is the parts I've used. And I've been able to build that ticket with just a couple of clicks by going to history. So again, if you're seeing a transmission that you've commonly worked on before, you can find that information and post it to the open ticket with just a couple clicks. Makes it very simple to build a ticket for a transmission job. Let's look at another example. And in this example, we'll do a couple different ones. We mentioned before about smart fluids and smart oil. And so if you're doing transmission flushes, we can use smart fluids. So I'm going to launch our Smarty Jobs. And again, there's a list of categories, and these categories can be customized based on the services you perform in your shop. And I've got a category for transmission services, and I have a list of jobs underneath this category. And in this case, and again, these jobs can all be customized, the price can be customized, etc. Normally you charge $99.99 for a transmission flush, but what it's going to do here is it's going to look up my transmission fluid, the type, the capacity, and it's going to find the fluid for me. So all I have to do is click on go, and it's going to do the rest of the work for me. So right now, it looked up the type of transmission fluid. In this case, here is what the OE says. And here's what the capacity is 11.1. And now what it's going to do, if I had that in stock, it would have found it. But since it didn't find anything in local inventory, it contacted my local suppliers. And now I can buy that fluid from one of my local suppliers, and I can send it to the ticket, and I've built that job. You can set the maximum number of quarts that you want to use before you start upcharging. In this case, I set it at 10 quarts to start upcharging additional charges for the extra fluid, and so it automatically increased the job to accommodate that additional fluid. Now, because so many shops do oil changes, we specifically have a Smart Oil button. Same idea, but when I hit the Smart Oil button, what it's going to do is it's going to look up what oil is necessary for this vehicle. Now, this vehicle needs a synthetic blend oil. It needs a 5W20 viscosity. It takes 5.5 quarts, and it's even going to show me the drain plug torque. This is the list of oil change jobs. And again, this list will be customized to match your shop. And I'm going to grab the synthetic blend oil change. And when I hit go, now it's going to find my oil filter. And I can see that the oil filter that I have is in stock. So I can select that filter. And now I just need to post it to the ticket. Again, like the transmission flush, you can determine how many quarts of oil that you're going to allow in that job before it automatically starts marking up. Now, in this case, I allotted 5 quarts of oil, but the vehicle took 5.5 quarts, so it automatically increased the price of that job based on the additional oil required. Now, one more example here, and I'm going to grab this Malibu. And that is, if you're doing extended services beyond simply transmission, we commonly build those jobs using Smarty Jobs. And what Smarty Jobs is it's a canned job. However, it's a canned job that's customized specifically for this vehicle. When I launch Smarty Jobs, it knows the vehicle that I'm working on. And again, this is a list of the service categories that you have. And I'm going to go to my cooling and heating category, and I'm going to do a complete water pump job. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to find my water pump, radiator hoses, thermostats, the associated labor times, automatically drop on hose clamps, and a cooling system fluid exchange. So it can be a fairly complex job, but it's going to be vehicle specific. So for your service writer, they're just going to use this like a wizard. So right now, it's looking up a water pump for me. And here's all my connected suppliers. I can see Napa has it. This is my cost. This is their suggested list. And then in the background, we have something called smart pricing, which kicks in based on your markups to automatically set this part to the pricing and the margins that you need. You can view images of this part. And of course, you can go to other suppliers as well and check what they have. In this instance, on this Reman water pump, there's a $10 core charge. Here's our core charge. There's my cost, sell, and my sell price. And we do have a core tracking feature that's going to keep track of that core, that dirty core, all the way till it goes back to the supplier, and that you get credit for that core charge. In this instance, I'll go ahead and grab the water pump from Napa, and I'll hit next. Now it's looking up my radiator hoses. Well, Napa only has the upper. So in this instance, I can see CarQuest has upper and lower. And again, these would be your specific suppliers. and the specific locations that you're purchasing from. Here's the thermostat that's needed. And now it's going to show me the labor time. There's my labor time for my water pump, my labor time for the thermostat. And now I'm in my shopping cart and I can see out of stock, I've got in my inventory, in my stock is the hose clamps. I'm going to buy out from Napa a water pump and a thermostat, and from CarQuest the radiator hoses, and I just need to post it to the ticket. So here is the complete job, $993. It automatically found the labor times and multiplied it times whatever your shop labor rate is. So that's $645. And here's the necessary parts along with a coolant exchange as well. So building a ticket is simple for your service advisor because it walks them through like a wizard, so nothing gets missed. You have all the parts. You know that they're available from your suppliers. They've automatically been priced appropriately based on your margins because of smart pricing, and you've built the entire ticket. When the customer approves the work, just like before, when you go to Smarty order, it's going to double check to make sure that those parts are still available, and I can see that they are, and the green check mark's showing me that they're available. And when I click on that truck, it's going to go ahead and send that order. So those are just a few of the tools that we have for transmission shops. There are many more, but these are some of the commonly used features to help you quickly and accurately and profitably build a repair order for your customer. Now, Transtar has certainly their Transcend catalog to help you as well. And I'm going to turn it back over to the folks at Transtar at this time, talk a little bit about Transtar and Transcend. Kevin?
So I'll take just a few minutes.
Hey, Kevin. Hi, sorry to interrupt you. I apologize. I don't know if any of the other presenters were catching some feedback on what you were sharing, Kevin, but it was a little unintelligible. Brian, was that true for you as well? I think you were on mute, Brian.
Yes, yeah, it was a little choppy. Kevin, maybe if you would stop your video, that could help.
All right, I'll stop my video. Thank you.
Yeah, it seems to have caught up to itself, so sorry for the interruption, but if you could just take it from the top for us, I think we missed your intro there.
Yeah, certainly will. So is that better now?
Yes.
Okay,
yep,
great. Very good. So again, thanks, Rick, and great job, with your demonstration of ARO Writer, and thanks also for your partnership. We're very happy to be working with you, on this project. So I'm going to take just a few minutes to talk about Transtar and Transcend. Transtar Industries is focused on innovative technology and on leveraging Transcend, which is our e-commerce platform, to turn all of you on this call, shop owners, center managers, and technicians, into heroes. And as you've just heard, we've partnered Transcend with ARO Writer to provide Transcend data to their shop management system. Transtar is currently selling and distributing automotive transmission and related driveline products direct to repair shops, which we ship from more than 70 distribution centers and branch warehouses all across the United States and in Puerto Rico and in Canada. All of our facilities operate on a single ERP system. We have a very robust inventory planning and forecast system, which provides just-in-time, same and next day delivery. While our core business is on transmission and driveline products, we have the distribution footprint, the resources, the systems, and the technology capabilities to expand our product portfolio. Our mission is simplifying complex vehicle repair to keep the world moving. And Transcend is the best resource for simplifying complex vehicle repair through its very unique, intelligent lookup system, which helps to solve industry fitment issues and ensure that all of you, our customers, get the right parts for the job the first time. So look for more complex vehicle system parts from Transtar through Transcend and ARO Writer in the future. At this time, I also would like to encourage all of you on this call to register for a free account on transcend.us to start searching and ordering parts. And then once you have registered, sign up for Transcend Rewards, which is our points for purchase program. The more you spend on Transcend and or through ARO Writer, the more points you can earn to be redeemed for merchandise as well as for travel awards. So at this point, I will turn over the presentation to Brian Chaikin, Transtar's VP of Technology, to provide a demo of Transcend. Brian?
Great, Kevin, I appreciate it. So yeah, I'm going to jump right in. So this is Transcend. This is the web version of Transcend. I'm not going to go as in depth as Rick did, but I think really the first step in kind of the shopping process in Transcend is really identifying the vehicle. So there's a few ways to do that. Once we jump in, the cool way to do it, at least in my mind, is really by license plate number. So the scenario is the car rolls in the shop. You've done some diagnostics. You want to quickly find the transmission family, and the easiest way to do that is through the license plate itself. So 1 second. So you can take a license plate. I'm going to go into other examples. You can also search by VIN, vehicle identification number, your make, model. But this is really kind of the quickest way to get going. So after you input the license plate, it shows you really a couple different trim levels for the same vehicle. I'm going to select the appropriate level. And quickly, we have a parts catalog specific to this vehicle. The first thing that you'll note is really the first category it selects is called suggested rebuild. These are the common items that, when you are going to do a rebuild on a transmission, these are the common things that you'll need. So we present these to you kind of quickly in a fairly upfront way. So if you want to jump into each product, you can quickly take a look. I'm going to grab this torque converter. Essentially, first we show kind of images of the product itself. You can see availability. So in this case, this is not in my local branch, but it is, I can get it within a couple of days. And obviously a product description. One of the really great things that we've added recently is just really great attributes for each product. So in this case, it's a torque converter, so you can see all the different attributes that are related to identifying that torque converter. One of the interesting things also that we've added is stamp codes. So a lot of times, you might have to get down to a stamp code to actually find the appropriate product. We have those listed. You can also search for those up top. So if you have a stamp code for a specific product, you can put it in. While I'm here, similarly, you can search for part numbers. So let's say the Transtar part number, you can plug that in. Really any industry numbers, OE numbers. One of the newer things that we also included are diagnostic codes. So if you have a P code for your transmission, you can put that in and it will actually match products based on that code. So moving on back to by vehicle, like I said, we jumped right in with the license plate search. The vehicle identification number, you can add that as well. With many shops, you're obviously switching between jobs. We do create kind of a recent search. So I'm going to select a recent VIN that I inputted. And again, you're kind of presented with a parts catalog specific to this vehicle. So I'm going to add this item to my cart. It's been added to the cart. Let's jump into that. So you can kind of quickly see items that you've created. One of the things that we've done recently is add, really where you're getting it from. So just really good expectations of when you're going to receive the parts. So in this case, they're same day. I think in the earlier vehicle we looked at, it was 2 to 4 days. I'm going to actually go back to that vehicle real quick. So we can't get it at the local branch, but we can get it within our network. So I'm going to add this to the cart as well. When we hop into the cart, you can actually now see where it's coming from. So you can see that this torque converter is going to show up from Colorado in 2 to 4 days. We're actually tightening up kind of the expectation of when you're going to receive things, so you can that'll kind of come quickly. Kind of jumping around is for product selection. There's a couple of ways. Let's say you're doing a bench job, you don't necessarily have a vehicle. You can select the transmission family. Let's see, a product category. I'm going to look for a band for Borg. And from this search, quickly we're able to get you to products that fit that transmission. Again, kind of the open search, Google search. You can also do similar things. So I'm just going to put in Borg band 4L60, and we'll get the same result. So you can see very quickly you can get to the products that you need. Another thing that's probably worth showing is by diagram. Rick was able to show the diagram within ARO Writer. We have similar capabilities. So I'm going to pull that up. Again, once the diagram is up, you can actually select items within there. So I'm going to click on this piston, and it pulls it up, and you can add directly to the car from there as well. Another feature that we're launching are complete transmissions. So these are reman units. I'm going to just go back to my initial example. Give me 1 sec. So here I've got, you can, again, search in similar way. So you can go year, make, model, VIN, license plate. For this example, I'm going to use a 2009. Chevy Silverado. So now, basically we need additional information to get you the unit, the specific unit for this vehicle. So we're going to need to select a drive type. And this is a new feature that we have. So lots of cases, to get to the specific unit you need, you're going to need a tag number. So there's a couple ways to do this. If you don't have, if the unit is still in the vehicle, you can still browse to see what the results are. This will pull up all of the vehicles with that, for this year, make, model, and drive type. But if you really want to get down to make sure that you have the specific unit, you can enter a tag, and it will take you to that one unit. So based on that tag number, the vehicle fitment information, this is the unit that we need. It will get to us LTL, so it'll show up your shop 4 to 6 business days. Adding to the cart. Really now we have availabilities, we have warranty availabilities, so you can select a standard. This is always something great that you can use to kind of upsell for your customers. So you can select a warranty and then kind of add it to the cart as well. From there, it's pretty standard e-commerce. So I've got my cart, I'm ready to check out. I'm gonna kind of go through this process. If there's a specific PO number that you guys use internally for your systems, you can add that. Now, going through shipping options, you'll see that I've got my local route for the parts that fit, or for the parts that I can get same day. But additionally, I can choose how I'm going to receive the other parts that weren't readily available. Based on kind of where you're located. Availability, these items will change based on carriers that are available in your area. From there, you kind of essentially check out. A couple things I wanted to highlight. One of the things that we've got is this chat feature. So, we've got reps. You're used to talking to your reps. We're not trying to replace that, but this gives you the ability to really send a message, talk to a real person. If you've got questions around products, if you have questions about availability that might be unclear, you can talk to a real person through this chat feature. I think that's it. So from, I think from a high level, that's basically, Transcend. The idea is to really find parts quickly and get them to you quickly. So I'm going to kick it back over to Rick.
All right. Well, thank you very much. So if you have additional questions, you can certainly give us a call, send us an email on the ARO Writer side. If you want to see us in person, I know it's still a couple of months out, but we do most of the major trade shows. We were at ATRA, we were at SEMA, we were at Apex this last fall. Our next show is going to be the Vision Show over in Overland Park, Kansas in March. So certainly join us there. And we have a few minutes, I think, for some, if you have any questions, for things that we could answer for you.
Thanks, Rick. Looks like we've received a question from an audience member. They are asking, and this will be for our side, either Brian or Kevin. I don't know if it was covered. I think it was, but let's tell them again how they can register for a Transcend account.
Sure. There's a couple different ways. So basically, registering for Transcend is free. You can go to the Transcend website and click register. If you're a current Transtar account holder, you can quickly get going with an invoice. So if you have a previous invoice, we ask for some information, the invoice number, the invoice date, and the total, just to verify that you're the shop that you claim to be. From there, we'll kind of get you going. You basically, after that information is captured, an account is created on the fly and you're able to start shopping. The other path is if you are not a Transtar customer, you can answer a few more questions, really telling us more about who you are, the type of shop you are, kind of, some of the number of jobs you typically do, the number of bays, things like that. So we can really try to customize your account appropriately. And then from there, you also can start shopping right away. So, if you can also create the Transcend account on the Transcend website, that would also be, those same credentials are used within ARO Writer. Rick, I don't know if you want to talk quickly about how you configure that once you have those credentials.
Well, on our side, it's really pretty straightforward. There's just a place in our configuration module where you'll see Transtar selected as a supplier, and there's a place to enter the credentials, and that's what turns it on. So once we get the credentials from Transtar, it's just dropping them into ARO Writer, and you're ready to go.
Very good. Thank you for answering that question for Anthony. We have a question now from Brian. He asked, when it comes to upcharging for the extra fluid, can we set it to round up to an even quart instead of a partial?
Great question. Today, we're not doing that. We are showing the exact quantity. You could override the system, but it would be a manual. It would not be automatic. Got it.
We have a Transcend Rewards question as well. So Kevin, perhaps this one can be for you. Mike is asking, if you order on ARO Writer through the Transcend or Transtar catalog, can you indeed earn points for Transcend Rewards?
Yes, you can certainly earn points for Transcend Rewards by ordering through ARO Writer. However, you first must visit transcend.us and then actually register for Transcend Rewards. So once you do that, then yes, any spend going forward then will be eligible for rewards points.
Got it. Okay. Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, I'll just add to that process is very easy. After you're logged into Transcend, you really just activate your account through the rewards platform, and you're really going. So it's a pretty seamless process.
Okay, thank you. We have another question here. Someone has written in to say that they're not currently using any shop management system, and they're wondering if it integrates with QuickBooks.
Yes, we do. Absolutely.
Very good. I believe this was also covered a little earlier on. Rob asks, how do we get the Transcend or Transtar catalog set up in their ARO Writer system?
Okay, if they're an existing ARO Writer customer, if you can get your credentials from Transtar and give our support team a call, we can help you set it up. It really is, it's quite simple to do.
Very good. Doesn't look like I'm getting any more questions at this time. Well, I would say that was a pretty good start in terms of questions. So thank you all for sharing those thoughtful comments and questions. We appreciate that. I would turn it now back to the group here. Brian, Kevin, Rick, do you have any final closing comments or thoughts that you'd like to share with our audience today?
Here, I'll jump in first. Just first of all, certainly thank you for your time today and hearing what we have to offer for your shops. Certainly, if you have any questions, you can give us a call. Visit our website at arowriter.com. That's probably the easiest way to get in touch with us. And we'd love to have a chance to speak with you. So thank you very much.
Yeah, I'll echo Rick's comment. I think we're really excited about the platform. We're excited about the partnership. So please, if you're not registered, I would encourage you to do so. And we look forward to you using the platform and really getting some feedback. So thank you.
And I'll just end by saying thanks everyone for joining this webinar today. I hope you found it very informative. I think Rick and Brian both did a great job, with their demonstrations of both platforms, and I hope you have a lot to take back with you and to consider, going forward as tools to help you really improve your business and really make you heroes for your customers. Thank you all.
Great. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. As you said, Kevin, this was very informative, and thank you to our audience. We appreciate your time this afternoon. More to come in the future, so stay tuned and check your inboxes for more. Have a great afternoon, everyone.